Alright, so I've dropped the lengthy intro because you've all seen it way too many times already. We're on episode 13, and today we are putting walls on the Gypsy wagon. We've got everything else done, so let's get those walls mounted. They go on in two parts, but I'll show you how that works. Today, we're going to cover the sides of this thing. I've purchased a couple sheets of plywood. Those plywood pieces are going to go on, so there's 3 pieces. 2 of them are going to go on whole because we've got 4 feet here, and we've definitely got 8 feet. We've got more than 8 feet. And what's left over is going to come out of the 3rd sheet. So we're going to cut up the 3rd sheet. But first, the first 2 fully painted sheets will go on. And then we're going to finish up closing in, probably it's maybe another 24 inches or so gap with the 3rd sheet. We're going to line up the straight edge of the entire sheet with the straight edge of the sheet that we're going to cut. So we're going to put the cut end on the actual end. Yeah, that's basically it. What else? Nothing. So I'm gonna paint 2 of these sheets completely, and then I'm going to figure out how to cut the 3rd and final sheet, and once that's cut, that too will get painted. Once that paint is dry, we'll be ready to go. In the interim, we'll put in the front window and we'll drill another set of holes here for the low voltage system that we've been talking about. So that's where we're at, and that's what we're going to do. Make sure you get the edges really good too, because that's the point of entry for easiest point of entry for water. So seal it up as best as you can. You know, it's not perfect. This paint does a really good job of coating and soaking in and sealing as best as it can, but you know, you have to sort of aim for good here, because it's not going to be perfect. But yeah, there you go. Get the edges. All the edges. The 2 painted sheets are going to go from the back towards the front. They're going to make it to right here. That's 8 feet from the back to gets you to here. This piece we're going to need to cut out of that piece of plywood behind me. In fact, we're going to need one for this side, one for that side. So this magic measurement right here is 22 3/4 inches. So we're going to cut one end off of the top and one end off the bottom. Why? Because that guarantees you at least one straight edge, and you want that straight edge to butt up against the other straight edge from the full piece of plywood. So you have 2 straight edges, factory cut edges, if you will, coming up against each other here. That'll provide the tightest possible seam. So 22 3/4, twice off of that piece of plywood. And as soon as we've done that, we're going to paint those just like we did with the other 2 pieces. As a first coat, we're going to need a 2nd and 3rd coat most likely. Nice thick saturation on the ply. And once we have that, then we effectively have both sides. Those sides are going to go on. They're going to start here at the bottom of the trailer. They're going to come up to about here, right where this cut starts to happen. And then when we pull the roof down on that, that's magically going to create sort of a point here where roof meets plywood. And then to protect that, we're going to run that strip of we're going to run that strip of cedar wood along here to effectively create sort of a gutter at the edge of the roof. So that's where we're at. 22 3/4, need 2 cuts of that. That's going to get painted. Then I'm going to run out of paint, unfortunately. I'm going to need a 2nd gallon. Yeah, that's going to get me to a good spot. So now we're ready to put ply up on the side here. We have it painted and we're putting the full sheets up. The issue is a 4x8 sheet of plywood is super heavy and really difficult to try to get into place by yourself. You basically have to hold it up against here. There's glue involved, it's slipping and slide, and then you have to get a screw through there mounted onto the studs in the top part of this wall. So that's not really feasible. So you think about ways to get around that. And what I've done is I've installed temporarily 2 little scrap pieces, and those 2 pieces are what the 4x8 sheet is going to rest on briefly while I attach it to this wall. Then they'll no longer be needed. We'll take them off and that's it. Now, part of the nuance of this was that the 4x8 sheet actually is going from a part, up here to actually a 1/2 inch beyond the end of this. That's just kind of how it worked out. So we needed a 1/2 inch gap here. So what I did is I placed another small piece of scrap in there to create this 1/2 inch gap that I can kind of slide my finger in. See that? So that same is done on that back one, and that gives us the 1/2 inch drop that we need. If I had just attached this scrap piece straight to the bottom, there'd be no drop. So that's why I did that. Yeah, this wall's ready to go on, so it's kind of a little bit frightening, but yeah, I ran the low voltage wire as well, as you can see that, much in the same way that I ran the AC wires. That's all in place. It goes around the corner back there, so that's all good. Now it's really just down to putting a bunch of adhesive on this wall, just for more strength. The 8-foot piece is going to terminate right up here, so we're going to put glue wherever it's going to be needed for this particular piece, and then we're going to set about painting the remaining 2 pieces that are going to go into the front. And then of course this roof is going to start to come down onto the top, and then we have to figure out how we close up and seal that part off, but and then the windows have to go in, and anyway, kind of crunch time. It's Thursday afternoon at 2:30. I've got a couple more hours to work on this here today, but then I've got a show to go to this weekend, so it needs to be ready to travel by around this time tomorrow. So a little bit of work left to do. Anyway, besides going on. All right, that's in. It wasn't too bad. One mistake I made, or if you're wondering rather, how I magically hit all those vertical studs, I kind of cheated a little bit. I should have done this beforehand, but what I wound up doing is from the inside, I went and reached over the wall and put a little green dot everywhere where there's an upright. Like I said, I should have marked those spots beforehand, because otherwise what you don't want to do is you don't want to just randomly start drilling or putting screws through this wall if they're not going to wind up in one of these bad boys. So like I said, it's something I should have done beforehand. Should have marked these spots with a Sharpie, or by these spots I mean these spots with a Sharpie. I'll do that on the other side. I realized that once I'd already sort of propped this thing on here and put that first screw through, it was a little too late to be doing that. So the beauty of it is when you put an array of screws through this, the screws pull the board onto the vertical studs, And as you'd seen, I put a good amount of glue onto those. So now not only are these screws adhering it to those studs, but the glue is also fastening this rather large board to the side of the gypsy wagon. So that in combination with the large number of screws that have gone through here will hold it in place, much like the roof is being held in place by the large number of screws that we have up there and the adhesive. So then what's going to happen is this is going to come down, and we're going to seal up this area right here with a nice piece of cedar that will run the length of this. That should do that or complete that. And then of course we have our window cutouts, which are going to, it's going to be 3 windows in here. We're going to do that the same way that we did the door, and we're going to send a screw through. We're going to cut out the square. We're going to drop the window. We're going to cut out the square. We're going to drop the window in and then mount it. Now it's going to get these verticals, these studs are going to, in the bays where the windows are, like over here, are going to get another 2x3 at the top of the window and one at the bottom of the window. That's to create sort of a framing of the window, which will make it easier to close in the wall from the inside. And it's also to give the window that much more support in terms of being able to hold on to something that's actually on the inside of the plywood. So there you go. Now we've got these pieces left to do. But first I'm going to repeat this same exact process for the other side. We no longer need these things. We can take those off without risk of this thing coming off because it's been properly adhered to the side of the gypsy wagon. Now another thing is, everywhere where these screws have gone in, it creates a point of entry for water potentially. So I am going to have to go back and dabble paint rather liberally over all of these sort of entry points. Otherwise, that's going to cause a problem. Again, we want to seal this as best as we possibly can. So those spots right there are the weakest chain in the link. If you weakest link in the chain, there you go. I think that's how it goes. Anyway, on to the other side, and then we'll finish closing it up with these once they're painted. This is it. This is the last little bit that we need to close in. Same thing on the other side. I painted the pieces already. We'll get these walls closed up. Then we got to cut out the windows. The front window done. That needs to be screwed in place a little bit more. And the 6 side windows, and we're good to go. Oh yeah, that. We got to do that too. We're ready. We have cleaned off the edge of the roof. That's gotten a little bit dusty over the last few days, just with a rag. I have pre-drilled holes into the strip that's going to go up there, and I've put screws already in there. That makes it a lot easier. Keeps you from having to fish around in your pockets for the stuff. So these are already all in here. So all I have to really do is line everything up top, get 1 or 2 of these screws in, and the rest should be easy, What I did is I put these in slightly to the lower portion of the middle. So it's in the top half of the bottom half, top portion of the bottom half. And what that will achieve is that the screws will go in below the metal, so the metal will come up to sort of the halfway point of the back of this, and then the screws are underneath that. So what we're going to do is we're going to slather on a nice thick layer of sealant onto the back of this thing, We're going to put glue, or construction adhesive more accurately, at that point where the metal roof touches that roofing beam. So when it all gets pressed down, we've got the glue, we've got the silicone flex adhesive. The final step of that will be where the metal effectively will be right here. We're going to run some more thick sealant along that edge where metal hits this piece of wood to channel the water, you know, to one end or the other end. That's that. It all sounds good in theory, but now I have to make it work in practice. So we're going to end it up with the gutters up top there to shed rainwater off the front and the back. And that's it. That wraps up putting on the walls.